Time is our most precious resource, irreplaceable and finite. Success does not stem from mere luck. It thrives on consistent, deliberate action taken daily. If another year fades without meaningful progress, the cause isn't external, it's internal. A lack of decisive action, unclear objectives, and self-imposed limiting beliefs. Recognizing this empowers you. Today presents a choice. Remain stagnant or actively redefine your journey. Clarity in your goals combined with purposeful effort is transformative. Let this moment be your catalyst. The clock never pauses. Your dreams shouldn't either. Embrace urgency, discard hesitation, and make this year the turning point you deserve. You don't need another resolution. You need a revolution in your mindset, your habits, your discipline. Here's how you do it. 1, the power of having a clear purpose. Many people journey through life like ships lost at sea, floating without direction, hoping success will magically appear. But success never happens by accident. It requires a definitive goal, a clear and powerful vision that shapes every decision, every step, and every action. Without this vision, life becomes a cycle of repeated habits, a monotonous replay of yesterday's unfulfilled potential. A compelling purpose breaks this cycle and transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary achievements. Those who accomplish remarkable feats possess one thing in common: clarity. They know precisely where they're heading, and every action they take is intentionally aimed at reaching that destination. Consider successful individuals from all walks of life. Each one has navigated their journey with absolute precision. They don't drift aimlessly, waiting for external forces to dictate their path. Instead, they harness the power of purpose, setting their sails toward a defined horizon. Edwin C. Barnes was a man with a burning desire to partner with the great inventor Thomas Edison. Barnes lacked resources, connections, and even a clear path toward his ambition. Yet his goal was crystal clear and unwavering. He did not merely wish to meet Edison, he envisioned himself as Edison's partner. With nothing but determination and a clearly defined vision, Barnes traveled to Edison's laboratory and persisted until he secured an opportunity. His clarity of purpose turned his ambition into reality, eventually leading him to become Edison's esteemed partner. Writing down your goals is a critical step in turning vague dreams into concrete realities. Goals that remain unwritten often fade quickly, lost in the busyness of life. But when you commit your objectives to paper, they become tangible. Suddenly dreams have deadlines, transforming wishes into actionable plans. Specific, measurable, and clearly defined goals hold us accountable, compelling us to move forward rather than stagnate in distraction. Reflect on your own experience. How often have you allowed time to pass without genuine progress simply because you lacked a defined purpose? Without a clearly articulated goal, one year easily blends into the next, leaving you with the unsettling feeling of being exactly where you were a year ago. To avoid this painful cycle, begin by asking yourself critical questions. What precisely do you want to achieve over the next 12 months? Who do you intend to become? How will your life differ significantly from what it is today? Answering these questions honestly and vividly provides the fuel that drives daily action. Purpose ignites motivation, allowing you to overcome procrastination, distraction, and the inevitable challenges along your path. Consider the great inventors, athletes, and entrepreneurs who shaped the world. They didn't wait passively for inspiration or luck. They cultivated an internal fire, a burning desire that relentlessly pushed them toward their objectives, transforming mere ideas into groundbreaking realities. Having a clearly defined purpose also creates resilience. Obstacles become mere hurdles rather than permanent roadblocks because your vision is stronger than any temporary setback. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to refine your plans and reinforce your commitment. When you know your destination, no setback is too great to overcome. Moreover, clarity of purpose significantly enhances decision-making. With a strong vision, choices become simple. Any action aligned with your goal moves you forward, while anything else becomes clearly visible as a distraction. This laser-focused approach ensures that your energy is spent effectively, consistently steering you toward your ultimate aim, rather than scattering your efforts in every direction. Think about the last significant goal you achieved. Recall how clearly you could visualize the result. This vivid mental picture likely fueled your determination, guiding your decisions and actions effortlessly. Conversely, Recall a time you drifted aimlessly without a clear goal. Notice how easily you fell prey to procrastination, distractions, and indecision. The stark contrast between these two experiences underscores the transformative power of purposeful clarity. Now is the time to take deliberate action. Define clearly what you want your life to look like 1 year from today. Imagine your ideal outcome with as much detail and specificity as possible. Write it down and commit to reviewing it regularly. Allow this vision to become your daily compass, guiding you steadily forward day by day. Recognize that your future depends entirely on your clarity today. Each day spent without direction accumulates into years of lost opportunity. However, each day lived with purpose multiplies into an extraordinary legacy of achievement. Your ability to turn dreams into realities begins the moment you clearly define your vision. The journey ahead is yours to shape. With purposeful clarity, your potential becomes limitless and your path unmistakably clear. Every decision, every moment, every action taken brings you closer to your goal, ensuring that your future will be shaped by intention rather than chance. Commit today to live with clear intention. Define your vision, pursue it relentlessly, and watch how swiftly your dreams transform into tangible successes. With a definite purpose, even a single year can change everything. 2. The mindset that attracts success begins in the mind. Every result we experience, whether success or failure, originates from the thoughts we choose to entertain. Our mindset is the glass through which we view the world, dictating our actions, shaping our behaviors, and ultimately determining the outcomes we achieve. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs act as mental barriers, obscuring opportunities and sabotaging potential. In contrast, confidence, optimism, and a belief in possibilities attract success and unlock doors previously unseen. Highly successful people understand this crucial truth deeply. They recognize their mind as the master architect constructing the reality they inhabit. Consequently, they intentionally cultivate thoughts of positivity, solution-oriented thinking, and continuous growth. By consciously choosing empowering thoughts, successful individuals rewire their inner dialogue to create an environment conducive to achievement and personal advancement. Achieving such a mindset isn't instantaneous. It demands consistent, intentional effort. Daily practices are essential to eliminate negative self-talk, replacing it with affirmations of capability and potential. This requires not only awareness, but discipline, actively shifting one's internal narrative from limitation to abundance. Surrounding oneself with positive influences, people who uplift, inspire, and challenge one's growth, is equally vital. Negative conversations and environments drain motivation, whereas engaging with encouraging communities fosters resilience, optimism, and progress. Additionally, feeding your mind with nourishing content, books, seminars, and meaningful conversations accelerates the development of a success-oriented mindset. Just as our bodies require nutritious food to thrive physically, our minds need enriching ideas and knowledge to flourish. Exposing oneself consistently to uplifting, growth-oriented content lays the groundwork for mental strength, clarity, and sustained inspiration. Despite understanding the significance of mindset, many individuals allow years of their lives to drift away unproductively because they succumb to fear and doubt. Fear of failure immobilizes them. Fear of judgment silences their voice, and fear of the unknown paralyzes their initiative. These fears perpetuate a cycle of inaction and stagnation, binding them to their current reality and preventing meaningful growth. However, individuals with a cultivated mindset of success interpret fear very differently. They see fear not as a barrier, but as a signal, a call to action. Instead of retreating, they advance boldly, understanding that beyond fear lies growth and opportunity. Successful people embrace discomfort, recognizing that significant achievements rarely occur within the confines of comfort zones. Their courage in confronting fear ultimately builds confidence, self-belief, and the resilience required for sustained success. Consider the powerful transformation that occurs when an individual genuinely believes in their capacity to achieve their goals. Rather than passively waiting for external validation, they proactively assume success is inevitable. This subtle yet profound shift in perspective creates a ripple effect, stimulating action and fostering a powerful sense of inevitability. Believing wholeheartedly in one's capability ignites momentum and confidence, shaping actions that align consistently with desired outcomes. In this way, belief itself becomes a potent catalyst, propelling individuals toward their envisioned success. Your mind can either become your greatest ally or your most formidable enemy, a tool that either builds or obstructs your path to success. This choice is entirely within your control. If your mind dwells on doubt and negativity, it becomes a relentless saboteur, systematically undermining every potential opportunity and achievement. Conversely, a mind nurtured with positivity, resilience, and possibility thinking becomes a powerful engine driving you steadily toward your goals. To transform your mindset effectively, begin by observing your thoughts. Identify recurring patterns of negativity or doubt and consciously replace them with affirming, positive alternatives. Cultivate daily habits of mindfulness, gratitude, and visualization. Imagine vividly your desired successes and outcomes, imprinting them deeply within your subconscious mind. Affirm regularly your capabilities, your goals, and your commitment to achieving them. This disciplined practice gradually conditions your mind toward positivity, making empowering thoughts your default setting. Over time, this relentless positivity translates into tangible, measurable results in every aspect of your life: career, relationships, health, and personal growth. Ultimately, remember that the most successful individuals don't merely react to external circumstances, they proactively create their realities from within. They recognize that the mind, when correctly harnessed, is an unlimited reservoir of potential waiting to be tapped. Embrace this fundamental truth, invest deliberately in nurturing your mindset, and watch as opportunities multiply and your goals transform from distant dreams into vibrant living realities. 3, stop waiting for the right time. One of the biggest reasons people waste years of their lives is the illusion of the perfect moment. They convince themselves that they will begin when conditions are just right, when they have more time, more money, more experience, or more confidence. But here's the truth: the perfect moment does not exist. Life is a constant ebb and flow of uncertainty, challenges, and unexpected changes. Those who achieve success are not the ones who wait for the ideal circumstances. They are the ones who take action despite uncertainty. Procrastination is not a logical delay, it is fear in disguise. It convinces people that postponing action is the responsible choice, but in reality, it becomes a cycle that keeps them stuck for years. The fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown create an invisible barrier that stops people from making progress. However, the most successful individuals understand that hesitation is the enemy of achievement. They do not wait for perfect conditions, they create them. They start with whatever resources they have, make mistakes, learn from them, and refine their approach along the way. For them, progress matters more than perfection. Every year, millions of people set ambitious goals, whether it's starting a business, getting in shape, learning a new skill, or changing careers. Yet few follow through. The difference between those who succeed and those who regret wasted years is a single decision: to act despite uncertainty. Challenges, setbacks, and obstacles will always exist, but waiting for them to disappear only leads to stagnation. The only guaranteed way to waste another year is to keep waiting. The moment action is taken, something powerful happens. Momentum begins to build. Opportunities that once seemed distant start to appear. Confidence, which once felt lacking, starts to grow. Small steps compound into significant progress, and what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. This is how real transformation happens, not in an instant, but through the commitment to act despite fear, doubt, and imperfection. Think about the most influential figures in history. They did not achieve greatness by waiting for perfect conditions. They took risks, faced uncertainty, and pushed forward even when success seemed unlikely. Entrepreneurs launch businesses with limited capital. Artists create masterpieces without waiting for inspiration to strike. Athletes train even on days when they feel unmotivated. The common thread among all these individuals is their refusal to let procrastination dictate their destiny. The idea of needing more time is one of the most common excuses people use to delay action. Yet the harsh reality is that time is never the problem. Priorities are. If something truly matters, action will be taken regardless of how busy life gets. The truth is, people make time for what is important to them. If someone can spend hours engaging in unproductive activities, Then they have time to work toward their goals. It's not about having more time, it's about using the time available wisely. Another deceptive excuse is the belief that more experience or knowledge is needed before taking action. While preparation is valuable, it should never become a crutch for inaction. No one starts as an expert. The best way to gain experience is to begin and learn through real-world application. Waiting to feel fully prepared is a trap, because mastery comes from doing, not from waiting. Confidence is another major barrier. Many people believe they must feel confident before they start, but confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is a byproduct of it. The more action is taken, the more competence grows, and with confidence comes confidence. The problem with waiting for confidence before taking action is that it rarely arrives on its own. The only way to build it is to take steps forward, even while feeling uncertain. The fear of failure is perhaps the most paralyzing reason people hesitate. No one wants to fail, but failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone, and an opportunity to refine one's approach. The biggest mistake is not failing. It is failing to start. Those who embrace failure as part of the journey ultimately reach success, while those who avoid it remain stuck in the same place year after year. There is also the illusion that conditions will improve with time. Many believe that in a few months or a year, life will be more stable, the path will be clearer, and circumstances will be better suited for action. But in reality, challenges and uncertainties never disappear. They simply change form. Waiting only leads to missed opportunities and deeper regret. The most powerful decision anyone can make is to start now, no matter how small the first step is. There will always be reasons to wait, but the ones who push past hesitation are the ones who achieve what others only dream of. If there is something important you have been putting off, stop waiting. Take the first step today. The perfect moment is an illusion, but action is real, and it is the only thing that turns dreams into reality. 4, prosperity. Fear is the number one factor that stops people from making progress. It disguises itself in many forms: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of embarrassment, and keeps individuals trapped in their comfort zones. The result? Another year of unfulfilled potential, another cycle of regret. But the difference between those who stagnate and those who succeed is not the absence of fear, but how they respond to it. The most successful individuals don't see fear as a red light signaling them to stop. They see it as a challenge to overcome. Every major breakthrough in life happens on the other side of fear. The problem with fear is that it thrives on inaction. The longer a person hesitates, the stronger fear becomes. It feeds on doubt, uncertainty, and worst-case scenarios. But there's a simple yet powerful truth. Fear loses its grip the moment action is taken. The first step toward any goal is always the hardest, but it is also the most important. Once momentum is created, fear begins to fade and confidence starts to grow. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that it requires the complete elimination of fear. In reality, fear never fully disappears. It only becomes manageable through repeated exposure. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not fearlessness, but the willingness to act despite fear. Waiting until fear is gone is a mistake, because that moment will never come. The only way to break free from fear's hold is to move forward despite its presence. Failure, which is often feared the most, is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey. Every successful person has failed numerous times before achieving their goals. The difference is that they don't allow failure to define them. Instead of interpreting failure as a sign to quit, they view it as a lesson. Each mistake provides valuable insights that refine their strategy and bring them one step closer to success. In contrast, those who fear failure often avoid taking risks, which ultimately leads to stagnation. The truth is, setbacks are temporary, but quitting makes failure permanent. History is filled with stories of individuals who faced failure but refused to let it deter them. Thomas Edison famously conducted over 1,000 unsuccessful experiments before inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity before creating one of the most successful entertainment empires. These individuals were not free from fear, but they refused to let it dictate their future. They understood that resilience, not perfection, is the key to achievement. Taking immediate action is one of the most effective ways to overcome fear. The longer someone waits, the more fear intensifies. Hesitation breeds anxiety, while action builds momentum. Even small steps can make a significant difference. A person who wants to start a business but is paralyzed by fear should begin with something small. researching the industry, reaching out to a mentor, or drafting a simple plan. Someone who fears public speaking can start by practicing in front of a mirror or speaking in small groups. Small actions lead to bigger ones, and before long, what once seemed terrifying becomes second nature. Confidence is not something people are born with. It is something they develop through repeated action. The more steps a person takes outside their comfort zone, the stronger their confidence becomes. It is a self-reinforcing cycle. Action reduces fear, and reduced fear leads to more action. The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. Those who wait until they feel completely prepared often wait forever. Those who take action, even when they feel uncertain, build the experience and skills necessary to succeed. Another essential factor in overcoming fear is shifting one's mindset. Instead of viewing fear as an obstacle, it should be seen as an opportunity for growth. Every challenge presents a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The most successful people are those who embrace challenges rather than avoid them. They recognize that fear is simply a signal that they are stepping outside their comfort zone, a necessary step for growth. The willingness to endure discomfort separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for mediocrity. It is also important to understand that most fears are exaggerated. People often imagine the worst-case scenarios that rarely come true. They fear embarrassment, criticism, or failure, but in reality, most of these concerns are overblown. The harsh truth is that most people are too focused on their own lives to dwell on the failures of others. Even if a mistake is made, it is quickly forgotten by others, while the lessons learned remain valuable for the individual who experienced them. If someone wants the next year to be different, they must decide today that fear will no longer be an excuse. They must commit to taking action even when it feels uncomfortable. They must recognize that fear is not a barrier, it is a doorway to growth. Every challenge faced, every risk taken, and every failure endured brings them closer to success. The choice is simple: stay stuck in fear or push through it. Those who embrace fear as part of the journey will achieve more than they ever thought possible. The most extraordinary accomplishments in life are reserved for those who dare to step forward even when they are afraid. Today is the day to make that choice, to act, to grow, and to finally move beyond fear. 5. Surround yourself with the right people. The people one spends the most time with have a direct impact on their success. Whether consciously or unconsciously, the attitudes, habits, and mindsets of those around us shape our own. If surrounded by negative, unmotivated individuals, it becomes difficult to grow. Their pessimism, lack of ambition, and excuses create an environment where mediocrity is the norm. However, when one is surrounded by ambitious, goal-driven people, success becomes the expectation. Their energy, discipline, and relentless drive set a standard that encourages growth. The fastest way to level up in life is to upgrade the circle of influence. Those who achieve success understand the power of relationships. They do not leave their social environment to chance. Instead, they seek out mentors who can guide them, join mastermind groups filled with like-minded individuals, and build networks that challenge them to improve. They prioritize accountability, knowing that when they surround themselves with winners, they are more likely to become one. On the other hand, those who remain stuck often do so because they allow their environment to dictate their potential. They stay in circles that reinforce bad habits, validate excuses, and discourage risk-taking. The difference between success and failure is often a matter of association. Success is contagious, and so is failure. The habits, beliefs, and work ethic of those around us subtly influence our own. This is why one of the most critical decisions a person can make is choosing who to spend time with. The key is to be intentional about relationships. Time is the most valuable resource, and it should be invested in people who inspire growth, challenge limiting beliefs, and provide support during difficult times. Conversely, it is equally important to distance oneself from those who drain energy, spread negativity, or discourage ambition. Every relationship either contributes to success or hinders it. There is no neutrality when it comes to influence. One of the most powerful tools for success is mentorship. A mentor is someone who has already achieved what one aspires to accomplish. They have experience, wisdom, and insights that can dramatically shorten the learning curve. The right mentor can prevent costly mistakes, provide guidance during setbacks, and open doors to opportunities that would otherwise remain inaccessible. Successful people actively seek mentorship because they understand that learning from someone else's experience is far more efficient than trying to figure everything out alone. Mastermind groups and professional networks are equally valuable. Being part of a community that shares similar goals creates accountability. When surrounded by people who are striving for excellence, it becomes difficult to settle for mediocrity. These groups provide motivation, support, and constructive feedback that accelerate progress. They also serve as a reminder that struggles are part of the journey, and overcoming them is possible with the right mindset and strategy. On the flip side, negative environments have the opposite effect. Spending time with individuals who complain, procrastinate, or avoid responsibility reinforces those same behaviors. It normalizes mediocrity and creates a subconscious belief that success is unattainable. The mind adapts to the standards of its environment. If everyone around us is comfortable with stagnation, it becomes difficult to break free from that mindset. This is why many people remain stuck in unfulfilling jobs, unhealthy habits, or toxic relationships, because their social environment supports it. Recognizing the impact of social influence is the first step, but action is what creates change. Upgrading one's circle requires intentional effort. It begins by assessing current relationships. Ask, who are the 5 people I spend the most time with? Do they encourage growth or hold me back? Do they inspire me to push beyond my limits, or do they reinforce my fears and doubts? The answers to these questions will reveal whether one's current environment is a source of strength or an obstacle to success. If the realization is that the current circle is limiting, it's time to make changes. Seek out new connections. Attend networking events, join organizations, enroll in personal development programs, or reach out to individuals who align with desired goals. It is also essential to establish boundaries with negative influences. While cutting ties may not always be necessary, limiting exposure to toxic energy is crucial. It is possible to remain cordial with certain individuals without allowing their mindset to seep into one's own. The goal is not to isolate oneself, but to create an environment that fosters growth, positivity, and ambition. 1 year from now, life will reflect the habits, mindset, and influences that exist today. If surrounded by those who strive for greatness, it is likely that progress will be made. But if surrounded by people who embrace excuses and complacency, another year will pass with little to no change. The choice is clear. Level up the circle, and success will follow. Choosing the right environment can make all the difference between another wasted year and a year of extraordinary progress. The fastest way to accelerate personal and professional growth is to be intentional about relationships. Find people who inspire, challenge, and support. Invest time in those who push limits, dream big, and refuse to settle for mediocrity. Success is not a solo journey. It is built through connections. Surround yourself with those who reflect the future you want, and that future will become reality. 6. Commit to daily progress. Success is not built in a day. It's built daily. Many people fail because they expect massive results overnight. They chase shortcuts, looking for instant success, only to be disappointed when it doesn't happen. But the truth is, small, consistent actions create the biggest transformations. Progress may seem slow at first, but those who make daily improvements, even if it's just one small step, achieve incredible results over time. The key to long-term success is developing the right habits. Success is not about making one big move, but about the little things done consistently. This includes setting daily goals, following a productive morning routine, reading for personal growth, and taking steps toward long-term objectives. Instead of worrying about how far they still have to go, successful individuals focus on what they can do today to move forward. Each small victory adds up, creating unstoppable momentum. Excuses are the biggest enemy of progress. There will always be reasons to delay action: fatigue, distractions, fear, or self-doubt. However, those who achieve great things learn to push through discomfort and take control of their time. They understand that discipline, not motivation, is what drives results. Motivation fades, but disciplined habits create lasting success. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They act despite challenges. A year from now, life will either be better or the same. The difference will be the choices made each day. Imagine if every day included just one meaningful action toward success: reading 10 pages of a book, working out for 30 minutes, practicing a skill, or making one important connection. Over time, these small efforts compound, leading to extraordinary results. No one has to waste another year waiting for change. The choice to grow, take action, and commit to progress is always available. The only question is, will it be taken? Start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment or permission from anyone. Your transformation begins now. Take one action today that moves you closer to your vision. Make today count, because it's the first step of your incredible journey. Don't waste another year. Make this one your best ever.